girlfriends, thanks for being with Casey and I tonight here on Rail Moments in historic Stevenson, Alabama. And it doesn't get any prettier, and it doesn't get any more historic, and it doesn't get any more exciting. This is one of my favorite spots. If you have not watched our 29 spots to Railfan for Casey and I, you need to do so, because this is on my favorite list. I love coming here. We used to have a problem broadcasting live from here, but we switched providers, and now we're able to connect, and the stream is able to function and get onto YouTube and come to you in a great quality. So I'm looking for a lot of exciting times coming up in 2025 as we bring 2024 to the end of this holiday season is upon us, where Stevenson, Alabama is all decorated, and one of my favorite depots behind me here in Stevenson is brought to life for the holidays. Think back to 1852, 1853 when the original structure was built, then the Civil War, and it was redone after that. We'll talk about it a little bit more. But just think, two railroad lines come together, tracks on either side of both lines go past here where the trains would stop, and many people would switch to go this way from there and what have you, and their connection points over to Chattanooga, over to Memphis, Nashville, etc. And those tracks are so close. Just imagine having dinner here that you got off at the depot, staying overnight in the hotel or waiting for your connection, having breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then hopping on your next train. What a bustling place this was outside of Chattanooga. We're probably an hour's drive. It's more of the traffic than it is the distance to get here. Let me show you around a little bit. We do have a CSX on approach, so I want to show you around a little bit, but we're going to have some train action along with some Christmas action right here at this depot. Just to give you an idea, that's the crossing looking back towards Bridgeport and Chattanooga. There are no crossing gates here. Just that's Kentucky Avenue, if I remember my geography correct. Those are the eastbound signals. On the track to the right, signals to the right, NS. Signals to the left, CSX. We are on the Memphis East Line here for NS and the Chattanooga Sub. And both of those, they merge at that point, double track, go on over to Bridgeport. From Bridgeport on over to Chattanooga and Waxahachie. So, here in the railroad yard, or in the railroad depot and the park that's owned by the city. There is a historic depot which has a museum inside. It's closed during the winter, to my understanding, but both Indian artifacts and railroad artifacts. And we'll get a little closer look at that here in a little bit. While we're waiting, and we will listen for that horn, give you a look back. There's production unit 6, and here's downtown. So let's go ahead and put your seatbelt on. Let's take a little trip, get a view before we get a train, so you can kind of get in the holiday spirit with me. And we'll get back to the track in time, don't worry. the old railroad platform. Old railroad car that they have out here. All decorated up. Santa Claus over there. To the left. The twinkle of the trees and the moment. The spirit of Christmas. The holiday season. As they have it all decorated. On the old railroad platform car. There's a gazebo here. As you can see. And here's a look at downtown, all decorated up. The sun's setting over to the west. And here's a look at downtown Stevenson. There's a restaurant over there. Like I said, if you want to see history alive, this is a fantastic place. Well, for the history of the past, a great place to rail fan, lots of train action. If any of y'all have any questions, currently I do not have a monitor up, but we will. And there's a look at the rest of town. So that gives you a little bit of an idea from the town where we are. Let's go on over and get a great look at the depot. Y'all hang on. We'll start over here at the gazebo. Just off Main Street. And again, another fantastic spot to rail fan from or hang out on the flat car. For somebody as a surprise. As you can see, our lights have the Stevenson Hotel and Depot sign all aglow. And originally it was a one-story depot building that was constructed 1853 when the tracks were first laid through Stevenson. And then the replacement structure that you see today, the brick depot and hotel, was erected here in 1872. So let's go on over and take a look while our northbound CSX train approaches. Like I said, this area is owned by the city. But take yourself back, and we are on the CSX side. And there is the depot. On this side, CSX. And literally, I don't know, 6, 7 feet, 8 feet, it's not far. The safety line is right on the other side of those tracks. The little courtyard in between. And then here is the hotel portion. Let's get that sign out of y'all's way. Come on over to the other side. As you can see, it's all decorated up. Christmas trees in the windows. Seven windows on the bottom. 6 windows on the top, but 1 knocked out. Just think of all the people that stayed there, all the meals that were served here, the holiday spirit brought back to life, the Christmas trees and how they would have decorated back then. Like I said, we do have a northbound on approach, so let's go ahead and go back kind of the other end so we got a great view. We'll talk some more about the depot. Let's go ahead and get ready. Briggsport isn't far, depending if he's waiting on something. A little chilly out, but not bad. And again, Casey and I appreciate you being with us here on Rail Moments. That is a second courtyard area, if you will, that's fenced in. So when you bring the kids, you can go in the old L&N caboose, look around, and a lot of times you'll get to see crew changes here for NS, one of our previous videos, and they will stop literally right on that side here of the depot to switch crews. But just look how pretty that is this evening. Like I said, I just love coming here. Hello, Jonathan. Hey, we actually hit 50 here today, so we're starting to cool down. So it's not too bad yet, but this buttercup will be gone before it gets too cold, I promise. And there's a look at the entire complex. And like I said, you can go, there's a walkway right there that you go across, and you can go on the other side and experience a train just like they did. The existing safety line is still there. Casey thought I was kidding him when I brought him here the first time. I was so excited. I ran over the curb parking the car because I was so excited to show all this to Casey. Like I said, this was something that I just wanted to do with all of you, both that are on tonight or be jumping on, or that you'll be watching this during the holiday, just to kind of, just the holiday spirit, and just kind of think how it relates to the train days and what it was like for the folks at Christmas time back in the 1800s and the early 1900s, where this was just a bustling spot of passengers coming and going. There's all kinds of places to sit here and watch. Well, like I said, the depot is owned by the city, and the museum that's inside is closed during the winter but open during the summer. On Saturdays, they have limited hours. And for those of you that are kind of familiar with the area, we aren't that far from the Widows Creek CSX yard. A couple other things of interest when you do visit this area. Fort Harker, the remains of that fort that played an important part in the past for the history of Stevenson. You can tour those ruins. And also, for those of you that are older, that you remember the TWA 800, there is a flight that went down. There is a memorial here for that, as there were, I believe, 8 people, either 5 or 8, I forget which it was, that were on that flight from this area. And again, the Stevenson Railroad Depot was built in 1872. The original version was a 1-story. And then right after the Civil War, it burned, got bombed. It isn't really clear what happened to it, but it was rebuilt. They even used some of the old bricks that they saved and in the current structure that you see. And railroad served back then was the Nashville and Chattanooga Railroad and the Memphis and Charleston Railroad were the original 2 railroad lines that this facility was built to serve. And closest to us and to the left of you is the Chattanooga Subline. We are at milepost where we are right here, milepost 112.6. And Memphis District East End, milepost 280. And from where we are, we'll swing here around in just a moment. There are signals for both directions close by. The eastbounds, you're able to see right from where we are. There's about 2,000 residents in this town. It's just off of Highway 72, a super nice 4-lane. Easy access to get here, so when you put that on your plan, like I said, take the time to watch our recent podcasts about places Casey and I have filmed or visited and been at. They're just great railroading spots, and there's more conversation about here in that, but it's super, like I said, just if you're it's one of 9 very well preserved. There's kind of a trail of 9 depots here in Alabama that are preserved to take you back in time. And since this one was decorated, Cowan is another one that we're going to visit that's decorated. We're planning on that coming up here in the very near future. But there's several of them. But tonight, I got off work a little early, and we made the drive over here. Traffic was horrendous, but we made it on over. But like I said, we're a community here of about 2,000. 1973 was the last census in 2023. It is in Jackson County, just in case you were wondering, here in Alabama. And how the town got its name, a gentleman named Vernon K. Stevenson bought all this property up in 1850, and he started a town here and named it after himself, or the townsfolk named it however, or whomever decided, but that's how the town got its name. So, great spot to visit. As it kind of gets a little bit darker, but we are going to catch one train just to give you a feel. That's Kentucky Avenue, you see. I said we're load of logs going through town. You can see they've, and all this area you can park along where all the trees are decorated. There are steps down to where we are. And as you can see, you have a great long open shot here. So trains on approach. You get plenty of time. There goes our load of logs across the tracks. And there are signals. So we did have a northbound CSX go through Bridgeport, which is about 10 or so miles from us that way. Depending on what's coming and going. Right after these two tracks merge going east, they come together there, and then it goes double track just past that signal point. So we do have scanner on, so you're going to hear some scanner traffic as we wait. Like I said, we are going to get, just to give you a feel, one train through this holiday season going to the track and not catching a train is like, I don't know, making toast and not having any peanut butter. But again, there's the old L&N. Now, if you guys aren't feeling Christmas yet, you let me know, and I may have to sing Jingle Bells or something there for you.
4 more will hit traffic. About 2 more now. What time?
Follow that track, you will end up in Cowan, Tennessee, and another great reserve depot. You cross the state line, go up the mountain to the Cumberland Plateau up there. Hello, ain't right? How are you tonight? Jonathan, I'm great. I'm glad to hear that everything is great with you. There's the back side of our rail car.
46113 there. 461. We're done their work here to North Bridgeport, ready to proceed north where we stand there. Okay, Lee, 4, you stand over. Alright, okay, Lee, where we stand, north leg of the Y, thank you.
And there's a look at part of downtown. Kind of sounded like our northbound train that we were talking about earlier. Had some work to do there in North Bridgeport. And it sounded like they were ready to continue north. And depending on where you're standing, you're looking north-south or east-west. Since Chattanooga is to the east of us, I just kind of call this east. Trip to Nashville was fantastic. Union Station was very, very nice. I was amazed at the facility itself. Service, everything was great. Right there on the CSX tracks. Mrs. S and I had a great time. And when it warms up a tad, it was raining the entire day we were here, so we didn't do any filming on this trip, but we will be going back on a day with some sun and some over a weekend, or maybe a Friday, so we get some great train action there, because they literally go right beside the hotel. So the trip was fantastic. It has been a little cold, a little rainy, a little this, a little that, all this week. Super cold, matter of fact. Kind of a challenge here lately for Tuesday and Thursday nights, but we're going to try and come up with some other stuff. For those of you in Chattanooga today, the new Heritage locomotive, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia, went through on its way down to Atlanta, pulling an intermodal, and up front, Solo leading. And he was still clean from this past Sunday there at the Railroad Museum, for those of you that made it out to see him. And for those of you who didn't, Casey went and filmed that live, where probably one of the only times you see the Tag 80 from TVRM and the new Tag Heritage locomotive parked parallel to each other on the same track. Hello, RC Pilot. How are you tonight, sir? Everything is great here. We just wanted to catch a little of the holiday spirit, and since it's that time of the year, take the opportunity, while we aren't freezing at the moment or pouring down rain, to catch some of the depots in the area decorated up. So, finally I got out of work today. Let's see, about 3 hours later than what I planned, but I made it. And one of my stops that I wanted, there's the old switcher, there's the L&N, was to come over and catch the Christmas lights here in Stevenson. The L&N caboose. Great color, perfect time of the year. But it's been a great week. Work has been super busy. Well, I didn't get to chase it today, I'm sorry.
CSX out 461, 13 north, Memphis clear south into Windy Creek, 2 track 560.
Sounds like train 461, if I heard him correct. Getting ready to continue northbound, if I understood what all he had to say. And I'm glad so far everybody's had a good week, it seems. Hope you all have caught all the interesting trains through your town. Makes it a whole lot more fun when you do. Warren sent me a note. He hasn't sent me the timing yet, and I haven't looked, but the Reading is leading on train 143 coming to Chattanooga, so that's something we have to look forward coming to. And Warren wrote me a note, 1850 is leading on M542. Haven't had a check to see where either of those are, but when we're done tonight, that's going to be a project to look up and plan on. Be out tomorrow. Like I said, there are no gates there on Kentucky Avenue. You just zip across many times. Like I said, since we now have new service, we're able to hang out here more and film, because our old service, it was like a rope and 2 tin cans trying to get the signal broadcast to YouTube for relay to y'all. And by the time you saw it, the production was so poor, I'm not sure you could even tell whose train it was, but we're all past that now. Ron, we appreciate that. Most of my family is in Lakeland, Florida. Matter of fact, almost all of the direct family is in Lakeland. I'm the only one that elected to stay to the north, although I got out of Ohio. And you're right. Anybody in the world has the opportunity to see this live with you and I and all the rest of you right now, no matter where they are. If they have internet, they have YouTube, and they have us. And they can hear all about our day and your day. There's a swing back to the depot. There, hopefully our CSX is finished up. Did his work there at North Bridgeport. We heard him say on the scanner. And he continues to make his way on to Cowan.
CSX 460, 113 north, clear north of Willis Creek, one track. 560.
All right, he is clear Willows Creek. So, next stop, Stevenson, Alabama. I don't know this area quite as well. Like I said, up until recent, the only thing we could do here was production work. But now that we can do live, and we're halfway to Cowan, which there's some great folks to hang out with there, and another fantastic spot to rail fan from. We'll be stopping here way more times. So like I said, this is one spot that I'm kind of not necessarily a history buff, but just enjoy the serenity and the times of the past. Just like that old telephone pole right there with the old spikes on it, how they used to go up it in the old days. It's got a single wire running over to it. But this kind of stuff I just find really cool, and the ability to be able to share it with you all. here in the holiday season as it's all decorated for you guys. As you can see, they've got a wreath there in every window. Next section, that is the museum. There's the old telegraph window. And when you're in that telegraph window, you can literally hand the mail out to the train when he goes by. And when you're on that side of the track, which you can go on over, there's a public crossing. This is all city property. Make sure you stand behind that safety line because that train is right there and they roll past here, as you'll probably see on our next train past. You know, pull the bed sheets back in the day, pull the bed sheets right off those folks in there sleeping. Rattle your coffee. Boy, I bet you there were some good meals served in there. There's a courtyard between them, right there. And like I said, there's a track on the other side equally close to what you see right here. The NS side. And then there's the two-story hotel.
Stop, I'm gonna run outside just
Jonathan, thanks for that. And boy, that would have been a great picture with, as you see it go by, with it being that still nice, shiny, clean blue. Those container cars right behind it, all blue as well. What a fantastic picture. Thanks for giving everybody that time so they could look it up from today.
I didn't say restriction, I meant restricted America service.
All the leaves are either brown or gone from our trees, as Christmas is coming fast. And again, while we're waiting on our CSX train, Casey and I would like to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a fantastic, joyous holiday season. Remember its meaning. Remember family and how important they are to us. Have a great time, and hey, buy lots of presents, keep the economy going. Somebody's got to do it. Might as well be us. But hey, anybody got any questions while we're waiting on our CSX northbound? Feel free to ask away. If I know them, I'll be happy to. Like I said, this area, I haven't spent a lot of time. I understand where the tracks are and where they run and what have you. But since we've not spent a lot of time filming here, but if there's something y'all want to know about the area, ask me. And like I said, we are in downtown Stevenson, and it's this quiet Monday afternoon as it is on Friday evening. Most of the grocery stores and restaurants and what have you are up on Highway 72, which is a big 4-lane that runs off of Interstate 24 down to Huntsville. So, just a quaint little place. Met several people here on the few times that I have been here. But boy, when I get to be here, I really, really enjoy this location. So, we'll stay trackside because we're not going to leave till we put one train in the bag, and then we'll call it a night, because the goal was for y'all to see the decorated area and kind of get the feel of the holiday. And there's several more of these that we're going to do over the next 2 weeks. And again, Tony, when you jump on, as I promised, Colin will be one of those places we're going to come visit and film the Christmas lights. They've got it all lit up there. It's super. Just like TVRM, for those of you that haven't looked at those videos here in the last week or 2 or 3 that we've done, the Polar Express, the Santa Daytime, the dinner train, they're all decorated. TVRM's all decorated. They even got a TVRM decorated train there in the yard that's stationary. It's a set of lights and what have you on a stand, but all the rolling stock is all decorated in lights. So if you're not having a chance to see those videos yet, take a moment and watch the TVRM. There's a number of them, and it's right next to the NS track. So you got NS action, Santa action, dinner train action, and if you've never been to TVRM, that's a place you want to make sure you experience. And if this is your first time, please, if you have a good time, come back again. And if you haven't subscribed, don't be bashful. The more the merrier. And we love doing this for you, and I hope you have fun with this. And like I said, I hope you get to feel the ho-ho spirit and all the different things that Christmas time and the holiday time stands for as we sit here in decorated downtown Stevenson off the Alabama. Little off the beaten path, but well worth the trip. And yes, that is downtown Stevenson that you see there on the other side of Production 6. And that entire stretch you're seeing, you can pick the spot where you want to park, have you a picnic, sit in your car, come on down here by the track, hang out under a tree, sit in the gazebo, bring you a chair, sit up on the covered rail platform car, watch in the rain. This is one of those all-weather locations. Long as you stay warm enough, cold enough, or dry enough. And wherever you're parked, you can feel all the joy and spirit of the holiday. Y'all keep a sharp ear out for that horn. They are a number of crossings beyond there that we'll hear them before they get to. Next, looking towards Chattanooga. On the left, CSX lights. On the right, NS lights. And up above us, a look into the sky. On this partly cloudy, breezy night. Or before long, we'll see Santa and his reindeer and his sleigh go right past there. That picture just doesn't do it the justice it deserves. It is just beautiful. Coming back to our NS and CSX tracks. If you haven't had a chance to see the new Tennessee, Alabama, Georgia Heritage locomotive for NS, take a look back. Casey did both a live and a production. You can see the Tag 80 that was restored by TVRM, and the same track right in front of our latest Heritage locomotive. Those are the scanners you hear in the background. Switch back and forth between the lights. And our L&N caboose. Not every day do you see that combination anymore, preserved like that. The Stevenson RR Depot and Hotel. Hey, Eugene. How are you tonight, sir? We made a visit to Stevenson, Alabama tonight to show you the decorated holiday season. Railroad Depot and hotel combination here. And the L&N caboose there in the one of the two courtyards. Yeah, they're talking about home turf as we hear. Cody, if you're on, traffic coming your way to Tunnel Hill. As we just heard on CSX Dispatch. Everything all decorated in town. And those lights up on the pole, the Christmas decorations. Get one here for you. Each have a train engine inside of them. You might be able to see that from right here, but all of the decorations through town have a circle of lights around and then a green outline of a train and red wheels. Not the type of decorations you see in towns anymore. But you will in Stevenson, Alabama, if you come visit. even see Santa in his rocking chair. How cool is that? Right there on his decorated flat car. Watching the traffic go past. Hearing Stevenson. And not every town has its own railroad flat car along Main Street under a beautiful cover. So pack a sandwich when you come visit, bring you a chair, sit up there with Santa, tell him what you want for Christmas. Now's the perfect time. As you can see, the view from there, you got that great big long greenway, and you're right across from the depot. And normally, there's a lot more train traffic here. Kind of an unusual night or an unusual afternoon. Hey, Chuck and Joe. Yes. We came over and visited Stevenson so I could share the holiday view of the Stevenson Railroad Depot and Hotel. We're back in the late 1800s and early 1900s. This was a booming spot. Breakfast, lunch, dinner served there. Sleep at the hotel, wait for tomorrow morning to switch trains. Chattanooga, Nashville, Memphis, Huntsville, all kinds of traffic went through here. So to celebrate the season, Chuck, we loaded up the truck and came on over. And we want to catch us one train before we call it a night. Head back to Chattanooga, where you and Joe are. We had one go through Bridgeport a little while ago, and then he had to work North Bridgeport, but it sounded like he was done. And I didn't see him go back south, so we want to end up with at least one train in the bag on this trip for everybody so they can see just how close they pass when they go by the depot here. It's amazing. You could literally sit in the telegraph room right there and hand the mail out. That's how close they are. When they go past here. And on the other side is the NS track, and it's just as close. And there's the L&N caboose inside the second courtyard. Christmas red L&N caboose, to be exact. Number 50. Oops, $2. Sorry there, everybody. And
Milepost 130.4, no defect. Repeat, no defect. Total axle 4, line 4.
130. That's over by Nickajack Lake. Not far from Bridgeport. Not far from us.
Repeat, no defect. Total axle 4, line 4. Detector out.
So from where we are, that defect detector that we just heard on the Chattanooga Subline is 18 miles from us. And since we've had no traffic headed towards Chattanooga, that means there's now 2 trains between us. And as I promised, we're going to hang out till we get one. Over by Nickajack, when you pass from here, like I said, NS runs on the Chattanooga Subline, which is CSX, so they share trackage. When you leave here and go towards Chattanooga, you'll go past or you go through Bridgeport, about 10-12 minutes, unless they have to stop from here going towards Chattanooga. After that, New Hope, they'll go across the Tennessee River there at Bridgeport. And then after Bridgeport, New Hope. After New Hope, Nickajack Lake. Beautiful spot there on the Tennessee River. And then on past Whiteside, the Whiteside Tunnel that you all have seen. And if not, check out on Casey and our podcast. It's one of the 29 places, and it's on the Weed Whacker list. Last time we were there with Jonas and several others, Jesse came over. We had to get the trimmers out and get the clippings so we could have a good view of the trains, which we did. So for those of you going over now, you got a great shot. Matter of fact, if we get over this way tomorrow, we might visit Whiteside Tunnel tomorrow. And then after Whiteside, it goes on over to Waxahachie. And the CSX will either go on into the Waxahachie Yard or bypass and continue with NS and go around Lookout Mountain there by 24. And then either into the Debucks Yard or on the pass-throughs over to Coffey's Cliff, where we've all been many times together. And then from there, either up to C&O and TP to Cincinnati, or up the Knoxville West End to, obviously, Knoxville, or down the Atlanta North District on to Atlanta, where the tag went this morning. So I got Mrs. S on the phone. She said tell y'all hi. I'll be back in a moment. Y'all sit tight. Let's keep an eye on that traffic we've got coming at us. everybody. That was Mrs. S checking on us. See if we're all okay. Here in Stevenson, Alabama. Eugene, how are things in your world tonight? Who's chased what this week? Anybody caught anything exciting on? Well, we're keeping an eye out because we are not going to go home empty-handed. We got beautiful shots of the depot and the town and the hotel and all the decorations and everything. So we are in the spirit, but we do want to, it's like having a sentence without a period. No, I'm currently not a Facebook fan. Why? What's up, Eugene? Instagram, yes. Since I'm not on there much, I have to think for a moment. What's my name there? Give me a moment. If I'm not mistaken, Eugene, it's Rail Momux on Instagram. I could be wrong. It does sound like we have something making an approach into Bridgeport. Hello, Pierre. Eugene, when we got here,
Medium clear South Bridgeport at 280 12, wind 2
sounds like NS 280. Not sure if that was NS, but something is clearing South Bridgeport. To answer your question, Eugene, yeah, when I first got here, just as I pulled up, there was a CSX that went through going north. And then there's one in between us at Willows Creek where he stopped to work, although I thought he was done. And something's coming through Bridgeport, which is about 12 miles from us currently. Depending on how you want to look at the directions. Although I think the railroad crew calls it Bridgeport to be south of us. And yes, we do have an auto rack rolling through Bridgeport. Coming this way. Over on 72, yes, you got McDonald's. You got most of the majors. As he rolls through town with that exhaust. Yeah, over on Highway 72. One of just about everything you want is over on that road. The section where we are is just kind of quaint and quiet. 72 runs from Chattanooga down to Huntsville through Scottsboro. So pretty much everything you want, you'll hit. So when you come to Stevenson, you won't be hungry. Yes, CSX and NS pass through here, and a number of BNSF trains as well. You'll see a lot of coal go through here. And there are two camera points in between. You have the Decatur Depot cam, and if you stay on the CSX line, yeah, you'll see some UP trains as well here. Predominantly BNSF, the NS, and obviously the CSX. And if our next train is NS, he will go on the back side of the caboose. And on the immediate other side, so once he comes across Kentucky Avenue, if that is NS that's headed our way, he will pass right on the other side of that switcher, right beside the same distance from that track to the caboose. On the other side, we'll see him go past the courtyard here. And then right there on that side of the station. Well, what is it they say? Good things are worth waiting for. We know we have one coming at us from that direction. And now, one coming at us from the right.
Cleared there with a great track. 280 west, 52.
How are you? Good. There's northbound coming too. Eugene, no Amtrak here at all. And we're going to stay for these 2 trains, and then we'll be done for the night. And then we'll get ready for tomorrow. We've got northbound between us and Bridgeport, and green signal indication on the southbound for CSX. So, currently, we have one on that side of the signals. Like I said, don't know if it's NS or CSX, but we do, as you heard, horn to the south of us, or depending on how you want to look at it, to the east of us, and then which is holding on the other side of Kentucky Avenue, possibly. I think the CSX has to go through first before anything on the other side can proceed. The way the tracks are laid out here. So we just kind of watch to see how this plays out, but we have one to the left, one to the right. There are crossing lights that you can see activated below us there. That's the next crossing down. It is getting chilly out here. So, our northbound is right down there. And I do believe he has to wait on this CSX train before he'll be able to pass on through. And there is our beautiful depot in holiday colors, where we are waiting to see our southbound CSX.
for something new with each new edition.
Yellow line.
And if you remember, we have a northbound sitting right on the other side of that crossing. Let's see which way he's going. There. And once we know for sure, we'll do adjust the lights as much as we can. But if he does go on the other side, we are kind of committed to where we are. But we will know momentarily.
Detector, mile 1167, track main 2.
And just in case, we are going to move in case it is NS. We're going to do our best to get a shot no matter which way. And I do see he is lit. So let's get situated here real quick. car, but he decided to make a run for it. Not sure that was Well, rail friends, what do you think? The train's gone by. CSX, for those of you in Cowan, here comes your Autorex. So there's one last final Christmas look at the beautiful, historic Stevenson Depot and Hotel. As CSX travels north past it, so, from Casey and I, here in historic downtown Stevenson, we want to thank you for being with us tonight. If you've not subscribed to our channel yet, now would be a perfect time to do so if you've had fun with us tonight. This is one of many yet to come. We're getting close to the 1,000 mark and have all kinds of exciting things planned for upcoming months. But like I said, the whole purpose of tonight was to come see the decorations and to feel the holiday spirit and to think back in the late 1800s, early 1900s, when this was a thriving passenger depot, the restaurant. There's not many left that you can see the hotel depot combination like this. So tomorrow morning, more trackside action. But tonight, we're going to finish up right here in downtown Stevenson, where it is beautifully decorated, full of history, and one of a breathtaking spot to start the holiday together. So from Casey and I, thanks for being with us, and we will see you at the next crossing tomorrow. Have a good night. Thank you, everyone.